Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all for joining today.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So I'm just going to mute all. Welcome to the second week, third week. Yeah. So thank you. Some devotees have sent in the audio of the shlokas. So that's very nice. Whoever has sent in Nirmala Mataji today, Raga Smita, and previously Sureka, Vanaja Mataji, Kalpana Mataji. Yeah, only 4, 5. So let's try and see if all of us can do that. It'll be very nice. It's a simple uh, shlokas to learn, and also it's we can see that we are very much connected to the Lord when we try and put our energy in memorizing the shlokas. So we'll start with prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaham. नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् हरि ओम तत्सत्. Today is also the auspicious Ekadashi. So we are, able to read Bhagavad Gita during Ekadashi. It's very wonderful. So just putting a reminder in the group. So before we go into this, let's do a little recap. What did we learn in the previous sessions about the soul and about the mind? But if you want to say some points, you can raise your hand or you can even put that on chat. What did we learn about the mind and about the soul? Yes, Vanaja Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. In first class, we learned about soul, how it passes one body to another and which is permanent, and at death it passes to another body based on our whatever the karma and what we desired actually, what we did. And class 2, we learned about mind. If we control, it will be a friend, otherwise it will be our enemy. How we can control the mind is listening about God, talking about God, reading the scriptures. And if we are not doing that, whatever the mind and our mental thinking, whatever it will be carried to the next life.
Right. Thank you so much, Asha Mataji.
Uh, Hare Krishna Mataji, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Mataji, I was just rereading the purport and from 635 when Krishna said it is very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by, suitable practice and by detachment. So this is my takeaway and my perspective. Like when Krishna said that, um, I was reading. I was like, actually, I happened to listen to a lecture by Amrinder Prabhuji where he said, uh, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, especially, is like knocking on Krishna's door, and how
Mm.
it's a personal appeal. So I always had like difficulty focusing when I used to chat, which I recently started joining in the morning sessions as well. So for me, hearing such positive and spiritual insights, it really helped me, especially when he said it's like a personal appeal and it's like knocking on Krishna's door. So I think instead of fighting distraction, it's about how you can redirect your mind by listening to something meaningful and divine, and how that helps build focus naturally. So that really helped me, Mataji, and I really wanted to share this.
Thank you so much. That's a very wonderful share. Yeah. Knocking on Krishna's door personally. So when we knock and Krishna opens the door, I mean, somebody's house we are going, we are knocking the door. And then when they open the door, if we look here and there, right? So we try our best to focus and be attentive because we are knocking on Krishna's door. Very nice. Thank you so much. Okay. And anybody else? Yeah, Disha, my about the mind can be a good friend and an enemy too. Yeah, the worst enemy. We won't even know that the mind is the worst enemy because being giving the power of attorney to this enemy for life after life after life, we have been doing things that is not very good to us, our own selves, spiritual selves. Okay, so today we are going to do about Kala, the time factor. Before that, since it's Ekadashi, it's also good to read a chapter. Uh, we will see if we have time to um, read. Today's Kala is in which chapter? Could anyone say? You can type in the chat. The time factor, if you remember from the 18-day. Yeah, Shloka 5 is about the soul and 2 about mind, how to control your senses. Okay. So we are going to do chapter 8. What we'll do, we'll take turns. We are going to read the um, translations of the chapter, which would take maybe 15 minutes from now. And then we can go to the particular 2 shlokas that we are going to deal upon today. Okay. Anybody? So we'll read 5 each because either we read in English or in Sanskrit. We are reading a chapter of Bhagavad Gita and Ekadashi is very auspicious. Anybody wants to read, please raise your hand. I can unmute. Yeah, we'll read 5 each. Yeah, Prasad from.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Should I start from text 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the self? What are fruitive activities? What are this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. Text 2. Who is Lord of sacrifice? And how does he live in the body? O Madhusudana, how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? Text 3. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible, transcendental, living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the self. Action pertaining to the development of material bodies of the living entities is called karma or fruitive activities. Text 4. O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature, which is constantly changing, is called Adibhuta, the material manifestation, the universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun, the moon, is called Adidaiva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the super soul in the heart of every embodied being, am called Adi Yajna, the Lord of Sacrifice. Text 5. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, Vanaja Mataji, read from text 6 to 10.
Hare Krishna. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your friend and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. He who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me. Undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person, who is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material nature. One who, at the time of death, fixes his life air between the eyebrows and by the strength of yoga, with an undeviating mind, engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion, will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mataji. Kiran Mataji. Nice to see you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Starting from text 11,
Yeah.
persons who are learned in the Vedas, who utter one kara, and who are great sages in the renounced order, enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. Text 12. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses, and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head. One establishes himself in yoga. Text 13. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the supreme personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. Text 14. For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain. O son of Pratha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. Text 15. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Kiran, yeah, you did Kadambini.
Um, Sorry.
Text 16 to 20.
From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Text 17. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together from the duration of Brahma, one day, and such also is the duration of his night. Text 18. At the beginning of Brahma Day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state, and thereafter, when the night falls, they merge into the unmanifest again. Text 19. Again and again, when Brahma Day arrives, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma night, they are helplessly annihilated. Text 20. Yet there's unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remain as it is.
Thank you, Mataji. We have, Santosh Prabhu and Kalpana Mataji. You can read two each. Kalpana Mataji, can you raise hand so I can unmute you? Yeah, Santosh Prabhu, you can read 21 and 22.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. That which the Vedantis describe the unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns, that is my supreme abode. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by the unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading, and everything is situated within him.
Thank you. Kalpana Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 23. O best of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which passing away from this world the yogi does or does not come back. Text 24. Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery god in the light at an auspicious moment of the day during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 month when the sun travel in the north.
Yeah.
Text. Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else? I saw someone else raise hand. Otherwise, you can continue.
Should I read?
Nijagna Pragya.
Yes, so yeah.
Okay.
You can read 25, 26.
The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet but again comes back. According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he doesn't come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns. Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Shini wanted to read, so you can read the last one.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So we see actually in less than 10 minutes, we have completed reading one chapter of Bhagavad Gita in uh, in English translations. So this is very nice. There are devotees whom I know. They read one chapter like this, only translations, 18 days, 18 chapters, and come back again, read it again and again and again and again. For the past 50 years, they're reading it. So we have read today Attaining the Supreme. So we have seen the summary of it. Arjuna is asking many questions and Krishna is answering the question that whoever at the end of his life quits his body remembering me alone at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Then he's saying that whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. So we should simply be remembering Krishna? No, he says, therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. So this is the essence of this chapter. Then he says how to meditate on him. And then he delineates a yoga called Satchakra Yoga, by how a person is uttering Omkara and is fixing the life air between the eyebrows. And then, he's on the life air at the top of the head. And after being situated, while vibrating Om, if he thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. So, isn't it hard? Because you see, what the mind jumps from one place to another. How can we even fix the life air between the two eyebrows? Right? So Krishna is saying a easy way. Here, obviously, this is quite hard, and then we are also, there is a mention that one has to be practice celibacy, and then for a person who is in family life, they can't do this yoga, chakra yoga practice. So Krishna says that the easy process is that if a person remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain. Right? And he says that after attaining me, the great souls, they never return to this temporary world. So at this point, he's going to say, what is this temporary world he's mentioning? Okay, this is our topic of study for this class. So let's do the shloka. Kiran Mataji, okay, you've raised your hand. So can you repeat after me? Everyone repeats on mute. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Abrahma bhuvanaloka
O Brahma Bhuvata Loka
punar avartinorjuna
Punar Avartino Arjuna
mam upetya tu kaunteya
Mam Upetya Tu Kaunteya
punarjanma na vidyate.
Punarjanma Na Vidyate.
So once more we'll do. Abrahma bhuvanaloka
A Brahma Bhuvana Loka
punaravartinorjuna
Punara Avartino Arjuna
mam upetya tu kaunteya
Mamupetya Tu Kaunteya
punarjanma na vidyate.
Punarjanma Na Vidyate.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone wants to read the synonyms and the translation? You can raise your hand. Okay. Vanaja Mataji. So anyone who is not, you can read now. I want other devotees also to volunteer, so everyone gets.
Kalpana Mataji raised her hand, Mataji.
No problem. You can read word by word, and then the others can read as we go. I'll unmute them. The synonyms. You can read the synonyms.
Okay, Mataji, thank you. Abrahma Bhuvanat, up to the Brahma Loka planet, Lokaha, the planetary systems, Punaha, again, Avartinaha, returning, Arjuna, O Arjuna, Mam, unto me, Upetya, arriving, Tu, but, Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Punaha Janma, rebirth, Na, never, Vidyate, takes place. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Sri Lakshmi.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
You're from Tirupati, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, I remember you asked a question. Yeah, you can read the translations.
From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all the places of the misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place, but one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
Yeah. So, yeah, we can read the purport also.
Yeah. All kinds of yogis, karma, gnana, hatha, etc., eventually have to attain devotional perfection in Bhakti Yoga or Krishna consciousness before they can go to Krishna's transcendental abode and never return. Those who attain the highest material planets, the planets of the demigods, are again subjected to repeated birth and death. As persons on earth are elevated to higher planets, people on higher planets such as Brahmaloka, Chandraloka, and Indraloka fall down to earth. The practice of sacrifice called
Panchagni Vidya.
Panchagni Vidya recommended in the
Chandogya Upanishad.
Chandogya Upanishad enables one to achieve Brahmaloka, but if on Brahmaloka one does not cultivate Krishna consciousness, then he must return to earth. Those who progress in Krishna consciousness on the higher planets are gradually elevated to the higher and higher planets, and at the time of universal devastation, are transferred to the eternal spiritual kingdom. Balavedam
Vidya.
Vidya in his commentary on Bhagavad Gita quotes this verse.
Okay, I'll read the verse for you. Brahmana sahate sarve samprapte prati sanchare parasyante kritatmanaha pravishanti param padam.
When there is devastation of this material universe, Brahma and his devotees, who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness, are all transferred to the spiritual universe and to specific spiritual according to planets according to their desires.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Krishna is telling how even on Brahma Loka also is not a eternal place. That's why he's saying everywhere there is repeated birth and death. People from Earth are elevated to higher planets, and people in the higher planets are coming down if they have not developed devotional perfection in Bhakti Yoga before entering into Krishna's abode. Right? So he makes a very why? I mean, he has been inviting us to come to him, come to his planet, but he's making here clear why you have to come here. Because here, every time, wherever we go, you're constantly changing. Even in this life, right? We can see that how we never are, mostly, sometimes, people are there in the place where they are born and maybe they are in the same house. But majority, 90% of the time, we change the place, we change the city, we grow ourselves, the body changes, and our situation changes. It's constantly changing. The environment around us also, circumstances, the people around us, everything is on a constant flux. It's constantly changing. So nothing is permanent here. So what's the use of spending a lot of time here and trying to be permanent? Okay, this is a fantastic purport. So this is what we are going to concentrate on. And Krishna is giving the duration of this material world in this. We're going to, Santosh Prabhu, would you like to recite after me.
Avadi. Yes, ma'am. Mataji.
Okay. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam
सहस्रयुगपर्यन्तम्
Aharyad Brahmano Viduhu
Aharyad Brahmano Viduhu
Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam
Ratri
युगसहस्रान्तं
Sahasrantam
Teho Ratra Vido Janaha.
Teho Ratra Vido Janaha.
Good job, Pankita. Okay. So, Asha Mataji, would you like to read the word by word as synonyms?
Yes, Mataji. Sahasra, 1000, Yuga, millenniums, Paryantam, including Aha, day, Yat, that which, Brahmana of Brahma, Vidu, they know, Ratrim, night, Yuga, millenniums, Sahasrantam, similarly, ending after 1000, Te, they, Aharatra, day and night, Vida, who understand, Jana, people.
Thank you. So we're going to read the translation and purport. Anybody else wants to read? Priyanka.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Translation. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night. Purport. The duration of the material universe is limited. It is manifested in cycles of kalpas. A kalpa is a day of Brahma, and one day of Brahma consists of 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas or ages. Satya ages Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali. The cycle of Satya is characterized by virtue, wisdom, and religion, there being practically no ignorance and vice, and the Yuga lasts 1,728,000, sorry, 1,728,000 years. In the Treta Yuga, vice is introduced, and this yuga lasts 1,296,000 years. In the Dwapara Yuga, there is an even greater decline in virtue and religion, vice increasing, and this yuga lasts 864,000 years. And finally, in Kali Yuga, the yuga we have now been experiencing over the past 5,000 years, there is an abundance of strife, ignorance, irreligion, and vice. True, true virtue being practically non-existent, and this yuga lasts 432,000 years. In Kali Yuga, vice increases to such a point that at the termination of the yuga, the Supreme Lord Himself appears as Kalki Avatara, vanquishes the demons, saves his devotees, and commences another Satya Yuga. Then the process is set rolling again. These 4 yugas, rotating 1,000 times, comprise one day of Brahma, and the same number comprise one night. Brahma lives 100 of such years and then dies. These 100 years by earth calculations total to 311 trillion and 40 billion earth years. By these calculations of life of Brahma seems fantastic and interminable, but from the viewpoint of eternity, it is as brief as a lightning flash. In the casual in the causal ocean, there are innumerable Brahmas rising and disappearing like bubbles in the Atlantic. Brahma and his creation are all part of the material universe, and therefore they are in constant flux. In the material universe, not even Brahma is free from the process of birth, old age, disease, and death. Brahma, however, is directly engaged in the service of Supreme Lord in the management of this universe. Therefore, he at once attains liberation. Elevated sannyasis are promoted to Brahma's particular planet, Brahmaloka, which is the highest planet in the material universe and which survives all the heavenly planets in the upper strata of the planetary system. But in due course, Brahma and all the inhabitants of Brahmaloka are subject to death according to the law of material nature. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Priyanka Mataji. So we see this, right? Fantastic calculation. And we are going to see that depicted. This is a lesson. This is the shloka we learned, 8.16. This will be the memorization shloka. And these are the parts of the purport that we read. And yeah, so 1,000 ages. What is 1,000 ages is described here. So you see, we are here, Kali Yuga. Okay, Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Dwapara Yuga is twice that of Kali Yuga, is 864,000 years. Treta Yuga is 3 times that of Kali Yuga, so it's 1.296 million years. And Satya Yuga is 1,728 million years. 1,728,000 years. It's 4 times that of Kali Yuga. So we saw how Satya Yuga is. In Satya Yuga, if you see Satya Yuga, in the 4 Yuga cycles, this is the majority. I mean, it occupies is 1,768,000 years. So there is good and evil lived in different worlds. So there is Devlok and Asurlok. In Treta Yuga, vice is introduced, we saw. That is the next major chunk. And good and evil lived in the same world, that is Rama and Ravana. And then in Dwapara Yuga, Bronze Age, which is 864,000 years, they lived in the same family. We saw Pandavas and Kauravas. Pandavas, always are virtuous, were never provoked, did not change their side to Kauravas, and Kauravas also did not change their side to Pandavas. You see, they are carrying their own natures and they lived in the same family. In Kali Yuga, good and evil live in the same person. Right? So we'll see back. So these 4 yugas is called one Divya Yuga. Actually, it may be a little technical, but it's very good to understand this. So these 4 yugas make one Divya Yuga, and 71 such Divya Yugas, okay, make one reign of Manu. That is called a Manvantara. Okay. A Manu lives for this long, 71 Divya Yugas. And like that, how many Manvantras? 14 such Manvantras, each consisting of 71 Divya Yugas and 15 Sandhyas. Sandhyas means the place where one Manu's reign is over and the other Manu's reign is starting. Both the time is called Sandhya. Like here we see the dusk and the dawn is called the Sandhya time, means coming together of day and night. So 4.32 billion years is these 14 such Manvantras and 15 Sandhyas make together only one day of Brahma. And similarly, these many billion years make one night of Brahma. So, and Brahma lives like that, how many years? 100 years, each of 360 days. So 360 times 100 is 36,000 days of Brahma. One day of Brahma is called Kalpa. So, and an equal number of nights. So, this is the fantastic life of Brahma. But it is mentioned that as brief as a lightning flash compared, to the eternity. So, um, if we do this math, one day of Brahma is 1000 Chatur Yugas. That is 1000 Divya Yugas. This is another way. 71 into 14 plus the Sandhyas basically is 1000 Chatur Yugas. One night of Brahma is again 1000 Chatur Yugas. And one day of Brahma is called a Kalpa. And in one Kalpa of Brahma, there are thousands of cycles of 4 yugas. So there could be annihilation at the end of each Manu, and there could be a pralaya or annihilation at the end of each day of Brahma, because Brahma also has to sleep in the night. So at that time, no creation, nothing happens. And again, next day, Brahma awakens, and again, creation is start forth. So there is a type of annihilation that happens in the night of Brahma. There is a type of annihilation that happens at the end of the life of Brahma. So Brahma lives like 100 such years of 1000 Chatur Yugas is one day of Brahma, like that. And so total span comes to 311 trillion 40 billion earth years. But that is also coming to an end. That is why when Hiranyakashipu asked Brahma, make me immortal, Brahma said, you should ask me something that I can give. I cannot make you immortal because I myself am not immortal. So that's why we see Brahma and his creation are all part of this. It's constantly changing. And this fantastic life of Brahma is just as brief as a lightning flash when you look at it from eternity. And Krishna says his world is eternal. There is no way that is getting created or annihilated. Right? If anyone is not clear, we'll again, discuss this in the question answer session. But the point is, the Vedic way of calculating time is so vast and also so minute. Let me show that. That is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam at the end of the session. So because in Satya Yuga, the duration was long, the capacity was long, meditation was the Yuga Dharma. In Treta Yuga, Yajna was the Yuga Dharma. Like Dasharatha Maharaj performed the Yajna and then got the Yajna Purusha came and gave him prasad. And after taking the prasad, the queens, and then they gave birth to Ram, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughna. Right? So Yajna was the thing. And in Dwapara Yuga, temple worship was the Yuga Dharma. Huge temples were constructed, and the Lord, so much, jewelry and the land and everything was given to the personality of the Lord, used in his service. And we can see there are hundreds and thousands of temples all over India, many, many, many thousands of years old with a nice heritage. And every temple has a Sthala Purana. When did it come about? And how the Lord reciprocated there, like that. But even that is on the wane now, right? In Kali Yuga, what they do, the priests also, you can see it's very common. And sometime back in the newspapers, it came that the one of the temple, the priest was giving off the gold jewelry of the Lord, breaking into small, small pieces and giving it as though he's giving us prasadam inside that. And the person who is receiving is his own family member. So this is because of the lack of spiritual education, and they don't know. I mean, the priest doesn't know what he gets by getting the gold. So many lives he has to suffer. But because they don't know this karma about God and whom everything belongs to, whatever they can see now is not God, is gold. In Tirupati there are Utsava, and it's a festival time, and the festival time that gets the maximum number of attention is when the Lord wears the diamond crown. It's called Vairamudi Seva. Diamond, huge diamond crown. You can imagine one speck of diamond, how much the whole crown is made of diamond. But why there are so much participation and viewership in that, I don't know whether they're seeing the diamond or the Lord who is more glorious than the diamond, right? So in Kali Yuga, all our values are messed up and we don't know where we are heading to. So the easiest and the quickest process of cleansing the heart and showing us the way of life and transforming ourselves is the chanting of the holy name. So this is what the same shloka in Madhya Leela. Dhyayan krite yajan yajnais tretayam dwapare archayan yadapnoti tadapnoti kalau sankirtya keshavam. Whatever we get in the other yugas, by the methods of prescribed yajnas, we get in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord. Right? We don't need to go to the temple. We don't need to perform big yajna. We of course need to little bit try to focus. Even if we are not focusing, still those mantras are valid to have been chanted, and it will help us progress. But if we are able to focus, we progress quickly. Right? So this is a shloka again in Srimad Bhagavatam. Kaler dosha nide rajan astihi eko mahan gunaha kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sanga param vrajet. So once uh, Vyasadev was meditating, and then nobody would. There were other sages, they were coming and asking him of the three yugas, which is the best, because they didn't even consider to even ask. It's a no-brainer that Kali Yuga is the worst of all. But when they asked of the three yugas, which is the best, Vyasadev, got up and he answered, of all the yugas, Kali Yuga is the best. Why? Because in order to attain the process of perfection in the other yugas, one have to do a great amount of effort for a great amount of time. But in Kali Yuga, with a very simple effort and within a very short time, people can attain the same perfection as the other yugas. So, but this Kali Yuga is full of faults, right? If someone is going in the beach and then he's complaining why there is so much water, because it's ocean. So Krishna is saying that Kale dosha nide rajan. Dosha nidhi means ocean of faults here. We have faults, the others have faults, the country has fault, everything. But if we chant the holy names of the Lord, even though we are suffering in this ocean of faults, we are taken to perfection. So we'll pause here. So these two, I'll post the shlokas for memorization. And I also wanted to show you one thing, how we see the vastness of time, right? Here, how huge is Brahma's lifetime, and then we feel puny, and our problems, which felt like, like Godzilla is feeling puny too, because we ourselves are puny and tiny. But at the same time, we see in Bhagavatam, uh, calculation of time from the atom. We're not going to read it fully, but are you able to see the screen? Okay. I'm just going to quickly read this until we the division of gross time is calculated as follows. 2 atoms make one double atom. 3 double atoms make one hexatom. This hexatom is visible in the sunshine which enters through the holes of a window screen. One can clearly see that the hexatom goes up toward the sky. The time duration needed for the integration of 3 Trisha Renus is called a Truti. And 100 Trutis make one Veda. 3 Vedas make one Lava. The duration of time of 3 lavas is equal to 1 nimesha. The combination of 3 nimeshas makes 1 kshana. 5 kshanas combined together make 1 kashta. And 15 kashtas make 1 lagu. 15 lagus make 1 nadika. This doesn't make sense because everything is in Sanskrit calculation of the time. But see, you're coming close. Which is also called a danda. 2 dandas make 1 muhurta. We must have seen this muhurta or an auspicious time, which is not more than 45 minutes. And 6 or 7 dandas make 1/4 of a day or a night, according to a human calculation. And it's given the measuring pot for 1 nadika or danda can be prepared with a 6 pala weight, 14-ounce pot of copper in which a hole is bored with a gold probe weighing 4 masha and measuring 4 fingers long. When the pot is placed on water, the time before the water overflows in the pot is called 1 danda. Then it is said, it is calculated that there are 4 praharas, which are also called yamas, in the day and 4 in the night of a human being. Similarly, 15 days and nights are a fortnight, and there are 2 fortnights, white and black, in a month. The aggregate of 2 fortnights is 1 month, and that period is 1 complete day and night for the Pita planets. 2 of such months comprise a season. 6 months comprise 1 complete movement of the sun from north to south. So like this way, from very small amount of time to very large amount of time, the Vedic, measurement of time is comprising. 2 solar movements make 1 day and night of the demigods, and that combination of day and night is 1 complete calendar year for the human being. The human being has a duration of life of 100 years, and now if you are 100 years, you will be in the books, right? If you are 70, that's great. You made it to 70. So we can see how much science is there in these books. And again, you see here the duration of Satya millennium. This is given in the calculation of the years of demigods, 4,800 years. And then the transitional period is called Yuga Sandhyas. At the end of Brahma's night, the creation of the 3 worlds begins again in the day of Brahma, and they continue to exist throughout the life durations of 14 consecutive Manus or fathers of mankind. After the dissolution of each and every Manu, the next Manu comes in order. Here we saw each and every Manu enjoys a life of little more than 71 sets of 4 millennium, along with his descendants who rule over the different planets. But the 7 famous sages, the demigods like Indra and their followers such as Gandharvas, all appear simultaneously with the Manu in the creation. During Brahma's day, the 3 planetary systems, Swarga, Martya and Patala, revolve, and the inhabitants, including the lower animals, human beings, demigods and pitas, appear and disappear in terms of their fruitive activities. So see, at the end of the day, under the insignificant portion of the mode of darkness, a powerful manifestation of the universe merges in the darkness of night. By the influence of eternal time, the innumerable living entities remain merged in the dissolution, and everything is silent. When the night of Brahma ensues, all the 3 worlds are out of sight, and the sun and moon are without glare, just as in due course of an ordinary night. Oh wow, this is really scary. The devastation takes place during the fire emanating from the mouth of Sankarsana And thus great sages like Bhrigu and other inhabitants of Maharloka transport themselves to Janaloka, being distressed by the warmth of the blazing fire which rages throughout the three worlds below. And continuing, it is mentioned about how this continues, and then finally here the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna is therefore said to be the original cause of all causes. Thus, the spiritual abode of Vishnu is eternal. It's not touched, it's not created and annihilated without a doubt, and it is also the abode of Mahavishnu, the origin of all manifestations. Okay, devotees will pause here. If you have any questions, we can discuss now. So the one that I showed you is a chapter from Srimad Bhagavatam. We didn't discuss much about Bhagavatam, but Bhagavad Gita was a crash course on the battlefield with only the concepts. Bhagavad Gita is 700 verses. Bhagavatam is putting Bhagavad Gita in practice and many different histories that happened throughout the creation, and it was told by Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj when Parikshit Maharaj had only 7 days to live. So so all this is explained in detail. Okay. So Sonal Mataji, you have a question? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna. So we'll take some questions now.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
You said there are 14 manvantras and 15 sandhyas. So 14 manvantras, one manvantra will be 71 Divya Yugas.
Yeah.
So what is the duration of sandhya? 15 sandhyas. So one sandhya, what is the duration for that?
So as far as I know, it is the beginning, end of one Manu and the beginning of the other Manu. There are a few years, few thousands of years. Okay. For example, the Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Right? So the last, and then the Satya Yuga is rolling. If this is the end of the Manu, period of Manu, then the last 5,000 or 10,000 years of Kali Yuga, I don't know the exact number, I'll try to find that. And the first portion of the Satya Yuga is called Yuga Sandhya. Is that okay? And sometimes they are calculated apart from these, number of years, which is pertaining to Kali Yuga and Satya Yuga.
Okay, so sandhya is the time when from one Manu, the next Manu is coming.
Not only Manu, here with respect to Manvantras, it is. Sandhya is also one time and another time comes. We say, right, Sandhya time, the dawn.
Yeah.
So like that way, one Manu and another Manu is also called Sandhya.
Okay, so approximately 1,000 of years is one sandhya.
Yeah, I am not exactly sure of the number. I have to verify, but few thousands of years.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Okay, Santosh Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So I have a question, right? So we discussed that the soul is eternal, right? It changes the body. Now, one after the day of and then we, based on our karma, right, we take birth, rebirth in different yonis and so many things. Now we also understood that after the day of Brahma, the pralay happens, everything, everybody die. What happens to the soul during that time?
During the
Because
night.
there is no birth. Yeah, during the night of Brahma.
Okay, they remain unmanifested. Means the soul and the subtle body are there. Only the gross body is not there, and Brahma is sleeping, so no one to see, who has what duration of life and who goes into where and all those. That system itself is sleeping. So the souls are said to be in their subtle body, also sleeping and remain unmanifest in Brahmaloka. When Brahma gets up, then again the creation is set forth again.
And it restarts from their previous whatever happened, or it is a new restart for the souls?
That's a good question. So the souls come out, the karma, everything is stored in the subtle body, and they come out with whatever karma they have, they come out in that particular form. That is why, according to the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and Vedas, all the beings are simultaneously created during creation itself, depending on the karma they have. It's not that one evolved into the other. But
Okay.
in some times, if there are no souls having the karma to have a dinosaur body, and there are no situations, circumstances are not conducive to that, then it remains extinct. It only appears extinct. But when the next Satya Yuga comes, probably, somebody has a body karma to take a dinosaur, and the conducive, the circumstances and environment are conducive, then again they come like that.
Okay, Mataji. Thank
Thank
you, Mataji, for explaining.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Pankita.
Yeah, she wanted to read the purport, but
Oh,
next week we will
yeah.
make her read.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And um, iPhone, sorry.
Yes, Mataji, I'm Nisha here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I had a similar question, the previous question which was asked regarding the soul. So I don't know whether I might confuse you, but I was thinking that when it is night for Brahma, does some other universe, some other Brahma, is it like, he's alive and the soul, like I was just thinking it as a multi-dimensional. Is it like a linear, like, one after the other it happens? I know it is explained like that only, but I was wondering whether it is parallelly happening, or yeah, so
Parallelly, what is happening?
um like one set of soul or Brahma, one Brahma is somewhere and the other Brahma is somewhere else
Yeah, there are innumerable Brahmas simultaneously.
simultaneously, right? So the
Yeah.
souls can be, when there is a night, when there is night for one Brahma, the soul could have been traveled somewhere
No,
else.
no.
No. Okay.
Actually, we are with inside one Brahmanda. In one universe, we go to
Okay.
different planets and different. Usually, it's like that. But
Okay.
after the annihilation of Brahma, also,
Uh-huh.
not that we all go back to Godhead. Okay,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
because
Yeah.
we still have the karma. So but that Brahma's reign is over. So
Uh-huh.
he goes back. If he,
Mm,
obviously he's serving the Lord, so he is going to the spiritual world. But not
mm.
all of us are ready. So we will get transported to another Brahmaloka.
Okay.
Like this way, we have been here so many Brahmalokas. That's
Okay.
what
Okay.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Brahmanda Brahmite Kone Bhagyavan Jiva Guru
Mm-hmm.
Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So,
Okay.
like this, a soul who's wandering from one Brahmanda to another Brahmanda,
Mm-hmm.
if he's fortunate, he's getting the seed of bhakti with the help of Guru and Krishna. And because with that seed, he can get out of this going from one Brahmanda to another Brahmanda matter at all.
Okay, okay. And one more question. We know that the destination is towards Krishna, but the beginning of the soul, whether the soul, when it was created, I'm assuming it would have been divine. And
The soul
then,
is not created
okay.
because there is no concept of time. The
Mm-hmm.
soul is described as unborn, eternal, na jayate, mriyate, va kadachin, nayam bhutva, bhavita, vana bhuyaha. So,
Mm-hmm.
since there is no concept of time
Yeah.
in the spiritual world, there
Mm-hmm.
is no place when no time when the soul was created at all.
So it was just like a extension of Krishna's energy,
Mm.
something like that.
Reflection. because we are all part and parcel of Krishna. See,
Yeah.
for the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any
Yeah.
time. He
Yes.
has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He's unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval.
Mm-hmm. So the set of souls, sometimes if you think too much in detail, so we think like, okay, so say for example, there were as it is said that it is not created, but initially there were like, say for example, 100 souls, but the population will increase. So whether the soul will, it will be an extension, I'm assuming Krishna's extension again, like continuously happening, right?
So the thing is, when that's why here we mention now, when the souls here, when in the earthly planets people go to heavenly planets,
Mm-hmm.
and from heavenly planets people could come down. Population means we are only thinking of
Yeah,
one type of body,
but
that is a human being here. We
correct.
don't know how much is the population of ant
Animals, yeah, yeah.
animals, tigers and lions and
Yes.
cannibals. You see, recently we saw that a millionaire's son went into to do some research. I don't know, in Amazon forest or in the forest of South Africa. He
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do some research with the cannibals and he got eaten by them.
Oh, oh.
So we don't,
Mm-hmm.
there are many things that we don't know. We only
Right.
know the human population. So the point is,
Mm-hmm.
some souls may get into a human body, uh,
Mm-hmm.
which may look like, it's growing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
But that means that there are souls who are coming from heavenly planets. There are souls who are evolving from animal life into human life, like that. But then
Mm-hmm.
the human the body dies, but the soul, depending on their karma, may or may not get a human life in the next life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He could go to a demigod heavenly planet or go into an animal body as well. So
Okay.
it's constantly moving.
Okay. And why would, Krishna's, like, this is like a kind of a testing, right, of a soul. To Krishna is sending the soul in different planets, and then, we should pass the test and then come back to him.
No, actually, it is mentioned that, yeah, uh, the the root cause is our desire to enjoy separately from God.
Okay.
So we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna, and
Mm-hmm.
so we are given this opportunity to go here and try it as much as we want. It is not Krishna's desire that we do this, but
Mm.
we wanted to try it. But then after, but he's giving us a way. That's why he's
Mm-hmm.
telling Bhagavad Gita, you see how, here there is
Mm-hmm.
birth and death, but if you come to me, there is no birth and death. It is eternal, and I am in
Mm-hmm.
your heart. And by connecting with me, you will get peace of mind.
Right.
Repeatedly calling us to make the
Mm.
choice, but the choice we have to make. But once we make the choice,
Mm-hmm.
and then we go in that path, then
Mm-hmm.
Krishna gives the milestone and he is there personally with us to take us back.
Mm.
And once we go back, he promises that we'll never again do this mistake again.
Mm. Right.
Right?
Yes. Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you for the thoughtful questions. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna.
Sonal Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji, thank you. I think my question came up, but when you were mentioning the last point, I think it got answered. But my question was that you told that soul is unborn, eternal. So, in its original situation, how did the soul took the form like into a body? How this
Okay, so
bodily
this is,
form?
yeah. So this is a question that's very often asked. And to understand the answer of this question, we need to be beyond time and space and liberated. Because something that happened when we were liberated, we can understand only when we cross beyond that. So the acharyas, what they are explaining is like, we are under the three modes of material nature within the concept of time and space, and we are so how something happened out of this space we'll not be able to understand, but once we get there we will understand that. So, for example, we are in a shipwreck. The ship has wrecked and we are thrown in the waters now. Now, how the ship wrecked, we can try to understand that, but now we are busy swimming to keep ourselves, not from drowning. We are in the thing of karma. So, if somebody is bringing a lifeboat, we jump on the lifeboat and then we get to the bank. From there, we can think, we can, oh, what happened? How did the ship wreck and how did I fall down? Everything will be clear. But at this point of time, since it requires one to be a liberated soul beyond the three modes of material nature to understand, uh, the acharyas have not explained how. You see, Krishna would have explained here, Bhagavad Gita, so many times he's telling, come to me, come back to me, come back to me. And that's what matters now. But once we go back, then we may ask a question whether we were there before originally, or is how true, whether I will not come back here again. That Krishna promises. Krishna is known for keeping up his promises. So he promises that Yad Gatva Nanivartante Taddama Paramam Mama. That place having gone which you don't have to return, that is my place. So at that point of time, it will be clear. But what matters to us is a way to go to that place that is given now. Hope it's okay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, in the slide that you showed, at the end of Brahma's day, there is a partial annihilation, and at the end of Brahma's life, there is a complete annihilation. So, what is the difference, Mataji, between these two annihilation? Where will the soul be?
Yeah, so if you see this, I'm just showing you where, yeah. So partial annihilation means up to Maharloka. Everything is annihilated below this. That's why it is said, we read in the Srimad Bhagavatam that the sages in the Maharloka go to Janaloka and Tapaloka because everything down is annihilated and Brahma is sleeping. Brahmaloka is, of course, not annihilated. And along all the souls with their various subtle body and the karma are kept intact and unmanifest in Brahma's night, cosmic night. Right? That happens during Brahma's night because Brahma is sleeping. And then when Brahma is getting up again, he creates all the planets and then everything is set rolling again. Then at the end of Brahma's life, everything is annihilated and everything goes back to Vishnu's navel.
Okay.
This is what symbolizes, this is a connection, right? When the child is born also, the connection between the mother and the child is this umbilical cord.
Right. Okay, Mataji.
It's like the umbilical cord, and if, the whole Brahmanda is not now no more existing, but still we are so adamant, we don't want to go back because we still want to try. Then we are transferred to another universe.
Okay.
Then we continue that.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
And Prasad Prabhu had asked the difference between Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Gita is song, Bhagavat is of God. Krishna himself speaks Bhagavad Gita and he didn't have much time. Bhagavad Gita is the essence of Vedas and he didn't have much time. He only had 45 minutes. It's in between a battlefield. And Bhagavatam was spoken for 7 continuous days and nights. And that was spoken to Arjuna's grandson, Parikshit Maharaj. And Parikshit had a curse that he would only live for 7 days. I think we discussed in one of the classes, maybe we'll repeat again the next class the story. So Parikshit wanted that each and every minute is so precious and I want to be doing things that I don't want to regret that I have not used this time properly. So he's going to the bank of Ganga and asking questions. Sukadeva Goswami is answering him. He continues to ask, Gurudeva Goswami continues to answers, and that goes on for 7 days and nights. So Bhagavad Gita is 700 shlokas, Bhagavatam is 18,000 verses. But you can see that, we are distributing Bhagavatam sets now. Srila Prabhupada has written commentary like in Bhagavad Gita to Bhagavatam also, and it's a very wonderful, reading material. I know Nisha Mataji and others there. We are having a call every 15 minutes in a day. They are getting together and reading only for 15 minutes, and so much to learn from that. Yeah, so eventually, after the concept of Bhagavad Gita, we will start reading Bhagavatam as well. Okay, so thank you, devotees. And I want to know how many here are in Charlotte. Can you raise your hand? In the Zoom, like in Vedic cosmology, one day of Brahma is roughly 4 billion years. So even a short stay in Brahmaloka equals thousands of millions of Earth years. Doesn't this touch upon the concept of time dilation, Mataji? It made me think of the story of King Kakudmi and his daughter Revati. Yes, very good. I was about to tell that story today. How Kakudmi wanted to find the best person in the planet as his son-in-law, and he went to Brahma to ask. And then Brahma it just took a moment. And then Brahma laughed and said that all those people who you think are here are no more. Okay, you go down, 4 yugas have passed in a moment. Satya, Treta, Dwapara. I think he was in Dwapara. Then he came back and then he said Balaram. And so Revati was married to Balaram. But Revati was so tall that Balaram put his plow and brought her down to his height. And then Revati was married to Balaram. Yeah. There are many other stories that tell that also. Yeah. Okay. So Priyanka Mataji Prasad, Prabhu, Nirmala Mataji Santosh. Yeah, we are having a program at our home tomorrow. I think Prasad Prabhu, you are not there in the group yet. You are in Concord. We live in Harrisburg, and we want to invite all of you for that if you are able to come. This is once in a week in-person program on Friday. We'll have. And we are continuing to have that in different places, also in Concord and in other places. Others are also welcome wherever you may be. But I mean, I'm just wanting to, uh, ask people who are in Charlotte. It's practical. If you can come. Okay. Can you give your number, Prasad Prabhu? I can message you the details, and also there's a group. You have my contact. Yeah. Okay. Please message. I'll send you the details. Okay. And those in the other places also, we are trying to see if there are any in-person programs to connect you. So, we can all get connected in online and also learn at the same time when you go in person, either to a temple or to a Bhakti Vriksha program. We learn a lot also in that. Okay, devotees, really appreciate you coming and staying long. So we have homeworks to do. If any one of here can volunteer to, I have some, things in the mind that you can put the messages in the group for the thing, and put a reminder message for people to learn the shlokas. Just keep the group in touch. If you have time to do that, please text me in person and we can discuss about that. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, devotees.